football super duper wild card weekend. And this is where it gets interesting. This is where, like, if your blood doesn't start pumping this weekend, then you have no pulse and you should wait for the French Open.
Oh, yeah.
Which is also on Fox.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, Roland Garros on the clay. All right. Anyway, that's Craig Jennings. He's won a Super Bowl, so he says. That's Cody Decker. Cody Decker has been to a Super Bowl, so he says. And I'm me. And you are whoever you are, because everybody else is taken. You know that. So Roquan Smith, one of the best defensive players in football, no argument there. Gets a 5-year deal, $100 million. Not all of it's guaranteed, but the dude's a stud. They got him from Chicago. And it's not really panned out because they've not won a lot of games since Roquan got there. But they're in the playoffs, right? They've been kind of a really weak offensive team. The defense has carried them, which is kind of the DNA of the Baltimore Ravens. But I want to look at this on a more global scale. You've got a quarterback that is unhappy. He's also injured. The latest report is that he has not been able to run a full practice, even with trainers. So Lamar Jackson's out. We can end that story right now. That seems to be unofficially official. Lamar Jackson is not playing against the Cincinnati Bengals. But while you don't count other guys' money, that's a no-no in every locker room, guys are aware of what other guys make. It's all public. If you're Lamar Jackson, you're an MVP, you're the face of the franchise, and you've been there since they drafted you, and they just gave a guy as good as Roquan is, as happy as you are for him, that he got the money, but he's only been there for 2 months, and they make a $100 million commitment to him, I don't care who you are, that's got to rankle you a little bit if you're Lamar Jackson, no?
Yeah, it sends the wrong message if you ask me. When you look at all the things that you just laid out, he was drafted there. He's done everything you've wanted him to do from a leadership perspective, from on the field. He's been that guy that you hope every guy that you draft that high turns into. He's been that guy. He's been a league MVP. And you bring a guy in, and Roquan Smith, you mentioned this. This is no knock on Roquan Smith.
No, not at all.
He's earned every dollar. But when you go to a situation where they're supposed to be paying a guy or they're hopeful to pay a guy and he's deserving of it and that locker room knows it, that's where the issues lie.
Yeah, now,
inside that locker room.
I want to be fair. I talked to somebody very close with the Ravens yesterday, and what I was told yesterday is that the notion that the Baltimore Ravens never made Lamar Jackson a serious guaranteed offer is just not true. The claim that I was told yesterday is that back in September, first week or second week of the NFL season, they offered him $130 million guaranteed. And he came back and said, that's not the Deshaun Watson deal. I want the Deshaun Watson deal, not a penny more, but I want the Deshaun Watson deal. So if you guys could put up full screen here, whether it's Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, and Kyler Murray. Here's why I put this up, because I want you to see on the right side of the screen the guarantee. And I had the guys give you the average, because here's where I am. The Deshaun Watson deal should not be the deal you compare it to, because it's an outlier. It's a stupid deal that the Cleveland Browns gave Deshaun Watson for all the obvious reasons. Absolutely. So that's the high end. I don't think that should be the new standard, although I respect it if you're asking for it, because you've had a better career than Deshaun. So I took the 3 guaranteed quarterback contracts within the last year, and I averaged it out. And it comes to what? $183.5 million, right? So to me, and this is just me, see, they're always listening to you on this phone.
They are.
I didn't even touch that. You saw that? Tell Fox Security to stop listening to what I'm saying on my phone. All right, anyway. That was weird, right? Now, you know what's going to happen now? I'm going to get ads now for Lamar Jackson jerseys.
Yes, you are.
That's what's going to happen. All right, so my point of this whole diatribe is that you can't ask for what Deshaun Watson got because it's a stupid contract, but it exists. So I would just take the average of the 3, and I would say put me right in the middle in that area and give me $185 million guaranteed, and I'm your quarterback. But they won't do that. So it's not that they didn't make a serious offer. They did, but it's not in line with the Deshaun Watson deal.
I would argue that he can get the Deshaun Watson money. And here's why I would say that. Like, even if he doesn't get that, you come close. If you're the Baltimore Ravens, that's not even close.
No.
Like, Kyler Murray's guaranteed more money. We all know he's better than Kyler Murray.
100%.
Like, Russell Wilson, we've seen what Russell Wilson's done. Oh, his body of work, yes. Okay,
yeah,
great.
So this way, you make more than Kyler Murray.
Yes.
You make more than Russell Wilson.
Yes.
And you do make less than Deshaun, but you make more than the other two guys.
Yeah. So with all of those guys listed, can you tell me that they're more valuable to their team than Lamar Jackson?
You can't.
Okay.
You can't.
Okay, so
but just because you have one drunken sailor willing to pay something for somebody
I
doesn't
get
mean that should be the new standard.
I understand that, but for me, if you can honestly say that the Ravens, they know that. They know Lamar Jackson is the identity of who they are, and particularly on the offensive side of the football, will pay him accordingly. Offer the man something to where it's as close, but just be honest. Like, we can't give you Lamar money because we want to be able to keep our team. Deshaun money because we want to be able to keep our pieces together and add value to who we are moving forward. But we can come pretty close.
Yeah. By the way, they have I think the 5th most cap space in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So if they decide to franchise him or trade him because of the amount of veteran quarterbacks that are available, it doesn't mean that the Baltimore Ravens next year are going to have some journeyman quarterback that can't win. It just means they're not going to have a franchise quarterback in his mid-20s.
But when you see those numbers, specifically the numbers of what he's being offered, you said, 135?
$133 is what I was told.
Okay, well, here's the problem. Those other two names, $160, $161 million.
Yeah.
The fact that they didn't even get to that has got to insult Lamar Jackson.
Well, yeah, listen, insult may be too strong a word because they're offering you generational wealth.
Of course.
But you can only compare yourself against your peers.
Exactly.
And that's it. So I take the Deshaun Watson deal out because it's stupid, but I recognize he's got to make more because of his talent and what he's accomplished than Russell Wilson, who does have a Super Bowl and a better career. He's also in his 30s. And, of course, Kyler Murray. But the Kyler Murray deal, let's be honest, that was a panic deal by the Arizona Cardinals.
But it's out there.
The Bidwell family, cuckoo, 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 cuckoo. Real quick, I don't want to do the whole segment just on Lamar Jackson. He's not going to play, though, meaning the Baltimore Ravens are going into Cincinnati most likely with Anthony Brown, I'm guessing.
Yikes.
I don't know if Huntley's even available to play in this game. So can they beat the Cincinnati Bengals with Anthony Brown quickly? No. Okay, great. So we're all on the same page. We're all on the same page. Hey there. Thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.